what's going on, predicting the week one starting lineup, no horsing around family. Got a lot of battles, Brandon Faison and Isaiah Rodgers out there, some wide receiver battles. We'll talk about that inside of this podcast right here. Guys, thank you so much for being so great this year. This off season's already started off. We met so many new fans, and we're just excited about this season. And I think everybody is excited about some of these young guys, as well as some of the people we've brought in, as well as veterans. Matt Ryan's looked the part so far. So let's just hop right into it, and let's just get this lineup. We'll start on the offensive side. Obviously, you're going to have Matt Ryan as your starter day one. That's a simple. Him and JT are back there. I mean, it's just done. I mean, there's no debate there. And on offense, I don't think you really have much of a debate. Obviously, Ryan Kelly is going to be your starting center. Then you got your inside guys. You got Quentin Nelson, and I think Danny Pittner obviously has the clear upper hand. The only caveat to that is if there's any injuries, he has to slide over and who fills in. But as far as a starter, I mean, you've got Big Q not going anywhere, and then additionally, you've got on the outside, Braden Smith's going to be a starter, and then you've got a little bit of a camp battle. Matt Pryor and Raymond. And I think ultimately, I think Ryman gets the opportunity, but I think Matt Pryor is probably your week one starter. Nothing to indicate that yet. This is a very, very early prediction. We'll probably come back out and do this at the end of week three while we do like our 53-man roster prediction there at the end. But this is just a fun one, man. It's off day. They're not practicing today. And I want to get that healthy conversation. I'm interested in the left tackle position on offense and as well as wide receiver. Tight end Mo Alley Cox looks to be the number one guy right now. And I'm going to go with Michael Pittman Jr., and I'm going to pair him with Paris Campbell. And I think Alec Pierce is going to start. I do. I think they draft him in the second round. He's going to take his lumps. He's going to learn football. Going to be a little bit of mixture with Ashton Doolin. The only caveat I would have to that is I believe by this time next week when we're recording, maybe the beginning of the following week, I think a veteran will have been brought in here. I'm a big guy who's always felt that T.Y. Hilton was going to come back on a one-year deal eventually. They just didn't really have a need to have him on the field, take a chance for nicks, bruises, injuries, and all of that stuff. That's just my gut. Interested in your gut. What do we bring a veteran in? We've talked about OBJ. We talked about T.Y. Maybe there's somebody we've never even talked about, and I would love for somebody to shed some light on that so we could shout them out on the next podcast as well. Heading over to the defense, that D-line is rock solid. You got Quiddy, Big Grove, DeForest Buckner, and Yanni Ngakwe, who's been an absolute fan favorite. He's been great since day one, since he's hit Indy. No changes there. I think technically we go with three linebackers. So you're going to have Darius Leonard. You're going to have Okereke, and you're probably going to have, Zaire Franklin. But that being said, they're probably going to play a little bit more of that spread, that nickel package more so than not. It's passing league, guys. I mean, you probably need five guys back there on almost every play unless it's just run heavy as far as that goes. And then it's safety. I think it's going to be Blackman, and I think it's going to be Cross. I think Cross is going to win the job. I think they're going to take their lumps with him and just see how it goes. He's just been a great athlete. He looks the part. He's played the part. He's had some really nice plays in camp. You guys let me know if you think McLeod overtakes Cross or vice versa. I'd be interested to know about that battle because that's one to keep an eye on. And then you got your cornerbacks. Obviously, Stephon Gilmore will start. Kenny Moore will start. And then, technically, that's your starting lineup. If you want to go with your third person, and there's that battle with Faison and Rodgers, I've always been of the mind that Rodgers will win out because Rodgers is just a little more special with his playmaking. When we talk about guys who can make plays, flip the field, change the trajectory of a football game in the matter of just one play. Rodgers is the guy who can do that. Faison, obviously, is bigger body. He knows the system, but he's not ever going to do a lot to wow you, I don't think. And for that reason, I think he's a very reliable guy who's going to get plenty of snaps this year. Make no mistake about it. I just don't think he's technically going to be the starter in those sub packages. But guys, join the family. If you haven't, all you have to do is hit subscribe, man. I mean, it's that simple. Use your voice, use your platform. We do as best job as we can to shout you guys out on podcast. We got Nomadic Brian that stops by all the time, and so many people. Fredro has been a guy who's been commenting in there a little bit lately. You've got Jason that hops in there, White Law hops in there. Just a really cool fan interaction that we've been having. But guys, until next time, you let us know who starts,